Why is Larry Duncan a patient at Fresh Meadows in the first place? Why has Elsie had him locked up and threw away the key? We're going to find out right now on this episode of Ruthless TV. On episode 3, season 4 of Carl Weber's The Family Business, we saw where Nene, Larry's wife, went and paid him a visit. And upon her return, she pleaded with Elsie and Chippy to let her husband come home. Now let's just go back for just a quick moment. Elsie feels guilty. He feels really guilty about having his brother put away. And Chippy had to remind him that he and his other brother Lou spent a lot of money to have Fresh Meadows not call the police about what Larry did. Elsie feels bad and he wants him closer. He wants him to know that he loves him. But Chippy says that's not a good idea. And I really like this scene because this is where we get a little bit more insight on how Elsie really feels about Larry for real, like through this private conversation that they had. On one hand, we see a loving and concerned brother who protects his brother and only wants the best for him. And on the other hand, Larry is letting his son and everybody else know that Elsie and Lou stole all of his money and put him away in a mental hospital. And this is a question that I posed on the community post, and most of you said that you believe Elsie's story, that he just wants to protect his brother. He loves him, right? And not that he stole all of his money. Word on the street is Larry had his brother Lou killed, and now he's after Elsie. And just another fellow director-writer sidebar here. I really like the way that Carl Weber is plugging in all these storylines with plots that have a whole lot of meat on the bone. I also talked about this on a previous video where I mentioned how clever it is to introduce Fresh Meadows as another story layer, because we're going to get a lot of interesting story from all of these diverse characteristics, right? I mean, it's keeping me glued to the screen. So during this visit, Larry is telling Nene that he wants to get out. And Nene was like, well, we have to go through LC. And Larry wants her to get a lawyer instead because Elsie stole all of his money, right? And he wants him to rot in the hospital, according to him. So we found out from Nene herself that she actually gave Lou and Elsie power of attorney over Larry after he killed 50 people. 50, not one, not two, but 50. Now, it wasn't clear if he blew something up or if they all left Earth at one time or if he knocked them all off one by one. Either way, it was established that he was sick mentally when he did it. And we can see Nene here fighting for her man. She told LC that Larry is no longer sick. Like, he's not sick anymore, so he can come home. So she told LC that she's going to take care of Larry and she's going to make sure that he takes all of his medicines. She says she's going to feed him good and everything. And it looks like Curtis was trying to agree with LC, but Nene cut him off and told him that Elsie and Chippy, they've got their family together and she wants to have hers together too. And this is interesting because it seems that the wives of Elsie's brothers, Lou and Larry, they all want Chippy's life. Donna, she wants Chippy's life. And here we see Nene. She also wants the life that Chippy leads. Oh yes, they wish that they had it all together like Chippy, but the family dynamics are so different that I don't think that it'll ever happen, even if they did have the money and the power and influence that Elsie and Chippy has. And I say this strictly based off of their personality types, right? And we can dive into that a little bit later, but I just think that it's a jealous trait. I mean, it's not a bad jealous, but a good jealous. Or is it? Is there such thing as a good jealous? I don't know, but something's going on there where they all want Chippy's life. But Elsie had to let her know that, that he loves his brother and he wants Larry to come home too. And Nene was like, well, if you love him, then why have you only gone to see him once in 10 years? 10 years, he's only gone once. But Elsie defended himself. He said that every time he goes to see Larry, he gets erratic, where, to the point where they have to restrain him. And he doesn't want to see his brother like that. Every time he talks about Larry, there is a love there, like a concern, a genuine concern. I really don't think that he wants any bad to come to his brother. And, to be honest, where there's smoke, there's fire. I think that there just may be a little bit of truth to what Larry's saying, because y'all know how it is when a family member goes away for a long time, whether they're in the hospital or locked up in jail. Another family member promises to take care of the money until they get out. Oh yeah, I'll hold on to it till you get out. And this is probably what's happening. Elsie and Lou probably took his money to start that business and left him out of the equation. And why did he kill 50 people? Look, there's so much backstory here that is just unbelievable. There's another subby here that kind of explained what happened in the book, and I'll go over her comment in a different video. I can't make these videos too long. I really don't have a whole lot of time, so I really do appreciate you guys tuning in to listen to this short form content, because sometimes I don't have time to dive into creating an entire video and then editing it. So thank you so much for tuning in, you guys, and drop me a comment below and let me know what you think about the situation between Larry and LC here. Is there a little bit of truth to what Larry's saying, or is he just crazy out of his mind and LC didn't take a dime of his money? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. You know I'd appreciate it. And if you're a fan of the family business, go ahead and sub to the channel, because I do video breakdowns like this all the time. Thank you so much once again, and I'll see you on the next one.